Good evening. 70s Strats. What's the problem? I've got two of them. This is the 76 Hardtail. Nice guitar. I like it. And this is a 73 Sunburst. Back in the 80s, nobody liked these guitars. I did, but nobody liked them. Why, you ask? Well, let's go over some of the things. Mostly, I think it's because of the changes from the 60s Strats, which everyone agrees were great. But anyway, the first thing people complained about was the poly finish. You know, Fender used to use a nitrocellulose finish, and they went to this real thick, heavy poly finish. People didn't like that. Okay, that's number one, even though I think it checks really nice when it ages like this. For me, number two was this bridge. The bridge part is made out of pot metal or something. I don't know what the tremolo block is made of, but whatever it is, the threads where you put the whammy bar on, stripped. Everyone stripped the threads. I still haven't had it fixed in this one. In fact, I don't know where the whammy bar is for this guitar. And when I say I don't know where it is, I mean it's in this house. In fact, it's in this room somewhere. I just don't know where it is. Okay, that was number one. And that was number one and number two. Number three, the pickups. You know, in a modern Strat, the middle pickup is reversed wound, reverse polarity, so that when you are in the in-between position, they are humbucking. Back in 73 and 76, they were not. They were all the same. So if you were in a place where your guitar buzzed no matter what position you were in, and you spent the whole night trying to figure out where you could stand with the least amount of buzz. And I guarantee you it was never like this facing the audience. Never. Okay. That was number whatever it was. Also dealing with the pickups was the pickup selector switch. 70 Strats, even a 76 Strat, had a three-way switch. So to get that middle position, you know, you had to look for it. You had to search for it and hope it would stay there. This one has a five-way switch. I replaced it. Okay. What else have we got here that people whined about on these things? The tuning machines are nothing special. You know, they're not Grovers like you got on some Gibsons, but they were a split shaft, and I love split shaft tuners. They're almost as good as locking tuners. Some people complained about the fact that the truss rod adjustment was moved from the base of the neck to the top of the neck in what's called a bullet. I never complained about that because with older Strats, if you wanted to adjust the truss rod, you had to loosen the screws on the back, tilt the neck, make the adjustment, put the neck back in place, tighten it up, tune it up, you know, with the strings and everything. It was a pain in the ass. This, you know, you just put the wrench in here, give it a turn one way or the other, and a little bit of flex. You can adjust it without taking the guitar apart. Okay, what else? Probably the big thing that everybody objected to was the 3-bolt neck. You know, you have 2 wood screws, and this is a bolt that goes into a little metal thing on the back of the neck, and there's a thing called a tilt neck adjustment. It's actually a clever idea. But the problem with the 3-bolt neck wasn't necessarily the 3 bolts. It was the fact that they weren't really cutting the neck pocket as accurately as possible. And this neck could wobble back and forth a little bit. And what would happen if the neck got pulled up? Your E string was suddenly off the neck. Okay. I worked at a music store back then, Bright Music Center. And I don't know how many times people came in with Stratocasters and the string was off the fretboard. They couldn't play it. And the fix for that was put the strap between your legs and you gave it a swift jerk like that. You could even hear a little click. And then you tighten up the screws on the back. That, by the way, was a no-charge repair. Okay, no charge. So those are the things that people didn't like about 70s Strats. Now, back in the 80s, you could buy these things all day in the newspaper, $200 to $300, everywhere. No problem finding these. I got this one I don't know, sometime in the 80s. I don't remember what I paid for it. This one I didn't get till the late 90s. So I had to pay more than $200 for this one. But this is a hardtail, and I like a hardtail. Everything is original on this guitar except the neck pickup. I don't know what happened to the original neck pickup, but this is a Seymour Duncan of some sort. It also has a 5-way switch. I can't be bothered looking for the, the position for that. Other than that, I do believe it's original. Oh, another thing people used to complain about was the extra string tee up here to pull the strings down over the nut. People didn't like that for some reason. The 60 Strats only had one, especially if you have a whammy bar. The strings can get hung up on that and it'll go out of tune. I've never had any luck tuning a Stratocaster with a whammy bar anyway, an old one. I'm sure it can be done because I've seen it done. I've seen Uncle Larry playing one and it's always in tune. So anyway, that's the story on 70s Strats. I guess the next question is, should you buy one? Should you buy a 70s Strat? Well, I looked on Reverb, and these things are going now for $3,000 to $4,000. $3,000 to $4,000. They used to be $200. So I guess whether you should buy one or not depends on a number of things. If you're looking for a guitar to gig with, that's your main thing, you just want to gig with it, I wouldn't drop $4 grand for this guitar if I just wanted something to gig with. I mean, you could get a Paul Reed Smith for that kind of price. And Fender makes some Stratocasters that have fixed all of these problems. All of these problems have been fixed, and for right around $1,000 or maybe even a little under, you can get a really nice Stratocaster if that's what you want and you're looking for something just to gig with. I was in Guitar Center, I don't know, a number of years ago, and I saw what I thought was a used Stratocaster. It looked really nice. It was priced like at $800. I thought, what the heck? Well, I went over and checked that out. It was something called a road-worn Strat. It was brand new. It was the relic thing, But man, did it play nice. It played and felt real nice. And for $800, if you're looking for a gigging guitar, I'd even consider that instead of this. But if you're looking to get into vintage guitars, if you like the idea of owning a piece of history, a vintage guitar, $3,000 to $4,000 is about the starting price. You're not going to get into much of anything less than that. And they are nice guitars. They sound good. They can be set up properly. So I would say, yeah, if you want to get into vintage guitars, this might be a good starter vintage guitar, the 70s Strat. So there's my thoughts on the deal. The problems with 70s Strats, it wasn't a problem for me. This has been one of my main guitars for years and years and years. It's all original. All the pickups are original. The only thing that's different is the 5-way switch. And the nut is some kind of, who knows what that is, some kind of stuff that's not original. And at one point I did have a 4-bolt neck on here. But I had a machinist make a plate for me so that the other 2 holes are hidden behind this 3-bolt plate. So that if I ever wanted to put it back original, I could with that, without those holes showing. And, geez, a long time ago, I put it back to the original specs and everything, and I love it. I love the way it plays. I love the way it sounds. And someday I'm going to get this strip thread fixed, and I'm going to find that damn whammy bar, wherever it is. So, there you have it, 70 Strats. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.